What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lowkey back with another video. So, continuing with these tips and tricks explaining how the finances work in Mygm, I thought I would show you guys what these actually mean in the season, like the total budget, the player payroll, and the staff budget and team operations when you're actually in the season. If you want a quick explanation of like the levels of these, you can check out my first video where you can see like this is a mid-level, this is the highest you can go, this is like upper mid-level, it's lower tier but still not the lowest you can go, and 129 is the lowest you can go. So to show this, I'm just gonna go with the Los Angeles Lakers, get into the season with them, and then just explain a little bit more on the finances of Mygm. Alright, so what those numbers really mean, and the most important part is like when you're doing the pricing, the team finances, and everything that you have, the higher overall team budget you have, the more the player payroll and the team operations will not take away from your expenses. Now, the most expensive things that you're gonna have to pay for are the team operations and the player payroll, and then the staff payroll, arena operations, and a little bit of playoffs. And then if you decide to do some promotions, of course promotions, and if you're over the luxury, of course the luxury tax will be quite a bit. Now, the reason why it matters how much like you get is because when you go over here and you do pricing for the tickets and the parking, if you have a larger stadium, if you have a larger fan base, you're able to charge more, no matter how bad the team is. But even if the team is bad and it has a large fan base already, has a large arena, then you can charge quite a bit, especially when the team ends up making money. And if you are finding yourself below the threshold to make the 1,000 VC at the end of the season, all you have to do is mess around with your tickets and parking. All of these really don't do anything. Like your team hats, the souvenirs, the programs, hot dogs, soda, ice cream, burgers, and coffee. They don't do much. They literally add nothing. At most, altogether, they will add about 5 million, but you make the bulk of your money off of the tickets, of course. So for the tickets, you can mess around with it. You have 20 price changes, so if you're doing the price changes, just focus on the tickets and try and get like just before you get into the red, like you see we're still in the yellow, and then we keep going. Now we see in the red at 146, so we're just gonna go a little bit below the yellow, stay at 135. That way we're gonna be making a profit. It's pretty simple. The parking, you should just really leave at wherever it is. The parking isn't going to bring too much. The lower you make the parking, the more attendance you'll have. So if you want to offset the high ticket pricing with good parking, I would give you the opportunity to just decide to make the parking cheap, but the ticket's expensive. So now to just quickly show you guys how this works, I'm just gonna sim through a couple of games, like all the way to the trade deadline, so you guys can see the graph and see the player attendance and whatnot. So let's just quickly do this. It's gonna take about a couple of minutes, and while we do that, I might as well talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. Got Lonzo Ball, D'Angelo Russell is gone now. There's a lot of promise. They signed. We actually have a shooting guard for the first time in like 3 years. We have a center. Every position is very solid right now because Brandon Ingram is small forward. He's an NBA level starting caliber small forward. Lonzo Ball is going to be a star. Kendall Cadwell Pope it's gonna fit really well, especially with Lonzo playing at the 1. We got Julius Randle and Larry Nance at the 4 position. I think Julius Randle's gonna come into next season. It's gonna be looking really good. Been showing a lot of promise. At the center position, of course, you got Brook Lopez and Ivac Zubac, who also is looking pretty good. And even our bench, even though we lost like Nick Young and stuff, we're still looking pretty good considering Zuma and Thomas. You know, they've been looking really good. They've been looking like steals in the draft. Lakers, I think, honestly can squeeze into the last position, the 8th position. And if everything goes their way this season, they could possibly squeeze into the 7th spot if there's no injuries. That's the key thing. That's the same thing with last year. I really think the Lakers could have made the playoffs last year. They have the talent to. It's just that they had so many injuries because they started off the year extremely strong, and then they couldn't. Midway through, a bunch of players got injured. You know, you had a couple games where Ingram couldn't play, a couple games where Russell couldn't play, a couple games where Randall couldn't play, and that really hurt them. Even a couple games where Clarkson couldn't play. So hopefully this season it's not like that, and hopefully we can, you know, come up and be good again. Honestly, the Lakers should be good, man. I really like Lonzo Ball. If you haven't seen, I put a video on a simulation of like what would happen if Lonzo Ball played his whole career as a Laker. You know, you can quickly go check that in my videos. It shouldn't be that hard to find. I think it's called like Lonzo Ball's career expectations as a Laker. You know what I mean? So I like simmed through about 20 seasons with Lonzo Ball from one of the drafts, and he put up some crazy numbers. You know, might be even better than Michael Jordan himself. So if you guys want to go check that one out, make sure you go check it out. But right now I'm just trying to show you guys how this whole finance thing works. And I think we're just gonna stop here real quick and go and check. We go to business, we go to price graph. As you can see, right now the attendance is at 89, 90. Now, see, look, it's at 90 and the tickets are selling like crazy. So if we just drop the parking a little bit, if we go to pricing, we drop the pricing to like, let's say $20. It's in the green. We'll raise that to 38, and then we'll sim all the way until the trade deadline and see what the difference is going to be. But I think I might make a video on this draft class because, like Dwayne Wade, if you guys haven't heard, and has been in the news talking about how this draft class is very special. It might be just as special as the 2003 draft class. And even before he said that, I had that idea in my mind. I had the notes all written down and everything. It's just I haven't gone to a format on which I was gonna make the video. But if you guys would like to see that one, you know, put it down in the comment section. If you're still listening at this point, you might as well rate. I honestly think that this draft class is very special. I think Lonzo Ball could have the same impact as LeBron. As crazy as that sounds, I really do think that he can have that impact as LeBron. Like, sure, he may not be as physically imposing, but when you watch him play the game, he plays with the ball because he is a ball, you know? The way LeBron dominates a game, just physically, I think Lonzo's going to dominate with the ball movement, you know, being able to just use the ball to do the work for him instead of him having to do all that hard work. And defensively, I honestly think after like a season or two, he'll be able to be one of the better defenders at the point guard position because he has all the tools. He's actually pretty athletic when you actually just watch him play, and the way he moves and everything. People say his lateral quickness isn't that good. I would disagree. Sure, it's not the best, but it's not below average in the NBA. Like, for the point guard position, actually, even if we just go shooting guard position, there's not many shooting guards that can move as well as Lonzo can. So just because of that and his length and his timing, I think he'll be able to make up for it and become a good player on the defensive end of the ball, along with being like the best point guard in the NBA in a couple years to come. And even D'Angelo Russell at the Brooklyn Nets, I think him and Jeremy Lin might actually do some things and might bring the Nets quite a bit up. But now as we go over here, Mygm business with the pricing graph, so we can see when we did that, the attendance went up, but the ticket revenue went up a little bit. It didn't go up too much, but it still went up a little bit. So if you wanted to get just a little bit more, you would make it go up. Because as you see before, like we were at the Knicks game, we were at 90% attendance, making $2,025,000, and the profit was $239, and then it jumped from $225 to $233, and then the average to there all the way to $245. So as you can see, if you want to make a little bit more, that's all you have to do. And then when we look at the team finances, as you can see, the player payroll, the team operations, arena operations, staff payroll, and promotions are in order going to cost you the most. So to offset that, you need to be able to make the most at the gate, which will be the tickets. So the most important thing that you can do is try and keep those tickets for the parking lot a little bit low, so you can raise how much the tickets are going to cost, so you can bring in more people, and that way you can be making in a lot more money through the gate. And the media, the whole media thing, it fluctuates. It all depends on how big your market is. But other than that, that's the end of this video. It's going a little bit too long. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comment section below. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video, and make sure to subscribe.